will start today's program with a conversation with Guillermo Gaspart from Barcelona. The company is buyhours.com. Guillermo, welcome to the show.
Hi, hello everybody, and thank you just to stay here with you.
So let's start by introducing our audience to you and to Buy Hours. Tell us a bit about the company and how and why you started this company. You obviously have a deep family history in this industry. So let's talk about you a bit and then about Buy Hours.
Okay, that's perfect. I think it's important just to explain shortly about my personally, a short intro. I am the fourth generation of a hotel family business based here in Barcelona. I was born here in Barcelona, 41 years old. And the thing is that I've been involved in the hotel industry for all my professional life, working inside the hotel in the family business, okay? And 6 years ago, more or less, I met my co-founder or my business partner, is Christian Rodriguez, and he's more tech guy, more close to the marketing, nothing to do with the hotel industry. And he wanted just to make a really simple question to an hotelier. And that question was, why the minimum stay in a hotel is 24 hours? In fact, it's 22 because the difference between the check-in time, normally 2 p.m. until 12 a.m., it's 22 hours. Mm-hmm. I wasn't able to answer him, and I realized that there were nobody in the industry, neither OTAs or hotel groups, offering this kind of flexibility or this kind of products. And that's why we created buyhours.com. And even until today, we are the only one hotel booking platform that we allow users to decide the check-in time in a hotel during 24 hours. Doesn't matter if it's 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 5 p.m., whatever you want. How many hours do you want to stay in a hotel? 3, 6, or 12 hours. Then we speak about micro stays and just pay for those hours. We are introducing the concept of the pay-per-use in the hotel industry.
Mm, very interesting. And how did you get this company off the ground? Was it difficult to sell the concept to the hotels?
Exactly. At the beginning, there are two main challenges in the company. First of all was the supply, and after today, maybe it's the demand, because we need to challenge with both of them. But at the beginning, it was really complicated just to demonstrate to the investors or even to the market that the hotel industry, they want to play this game. I mean, they want to put in inventory, they want to participate. And at the beginning, it was really complicated because the first hotels was so tough just to sign the first contract with the hotels. But after that, we started in Spain with my network that they have in Spain, after in Barcelona, Madrid, the rest of Spain. And right now we are with more than 3,000 hotels in all Europe, all Latin America and Middle East. And really soon, during 2019, beginning 2020, we are going to open the States.
And so let's go back a bit more to the beginning of the validation. To what extent your network in the hotel industry, the fact that you are deeply from this industry and you had a deep network in the Barcelona hotel industry, to what extent that helped you in validating the concept?
I think it's if you are trying to make like an entrepreneur inside the industry that you know perfectly, you have the network, you have the knowledge and everything. I think it's more easier because it's at the beginning you can trust on your colleagues, or even if they are competitors and right now they are like partners, you can have this possibility to sit with them, to explain to them your new idea or what do you want to innovate in this industry. And at the beginning, it's more simple if you have this network or this knowledge in the industry. But even though you have, here in Spain, we have this kind of possibility, here in Buy Hours, we have the main stopper that we have 6 years ago. It was more with the perception, okay? And even I think today we don't have any more this problem, but 6 years ago, if you speak in Spain, in Italy, in France, in the States, or in Asia, wherever you want in the world, if you speak to someone hotel by the hour, we have like the self-perception, okay? Yeah. At the beginning, the people, they are more like this kind of sexual session. We don't want to be in this environment since the beginning. We are really focused on business people, travelers, families, hotels close to the airport, close to the main train stations in the city center. And at the beginning, it was really complicated just to manage this kind of perception, okay? But today, we demonstrate to the hotels that our user, our client, is not this kind of client because we don't want to work with this kind of client. And today, we are all the hotels that we have in our platform. They are really happy, and they are having this like additional revenue for their P&L.
And the use cases that you zeroed in on are business use cases, and it sounds like they're hospital use cases, hotels close to hospitals when people need to come and stay waiting for a loved one to be who's in the hospital, those kind of use cases, right?
Exactly. We want to talk more about travelers. Normally, the business people are more focused on travelers, but also families, okay? If you are traveling, I think it makes sense. If you have a plane that arrives at 6 a.m. to Mexico or to Bogota or whatever, maybe you want just a room just to take a shower before your first meeting or something like that. But also close, as you say right now, close to the hospitals, close to the main football stadiums also, or theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, all the spaces that there are people waiting or waiting for something or for someone, I think it makes sense just to offer this kind of a short stay in a hotel.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, now talk a bit about your financing strategy. You put in a little bit of your own money, and then you did raise money. So let's talk a bit more about how you got to your first round of financing.
Yeah. I think we use the classical the triple F, I mean the family, fools, and friends. Okay. In our case, we don't use the family. We are more focused on only fools and friends, and the first round was covered more for our own money from my business partner and myself, and after that, the classical friends that you have that want to make like a small tickets in order to proceed with them in the first MVP. And after that, we put it more business angels from Spain, then some venture capital, more professional investors from Spain. And after 2015, we decided just to expand our business as we wanted to open the rest of countries, like in Europe. We started to talk with more VCs, international VCs. And I think the company changed completely because we incorporate in our board of directors this kind of VCs. And definitely it's what we say, smart money. I mean, it's not only the money, it's really important, the smart money. And if you focus your fundraising strategy in those investors that they have also network or knowledge in the travel or in the hospitality industry, it's in our case, it's a double win because you have the money, but also you have the knowledge and the network just to scale the business.
What are the denominations? You put in about 100,000 euro, you and your co-founder. What was the first angel round?
The first angel round was, I think, was after that, and it was with some business angels and some friends, and we put an evaluation of 1.7 million euros it was at the beginning, okay, because the first part of the company, we were ourselves, that we were financing this part. And after that, until today, we raised, until right now, close to 10 million euros. And right now, we are really close we are going to close a new round of another 8. I mean, total will be close to 18 million euros in a different rounds, okay? And but as I told you before, after 2015, with international investors. And right now we are talking with some VCs from the States that because as we want to open the States, it makes sense for us to have someone there in the region, in the area, in order to help us to develop the business and also to develop the network with another investors.
So just to kind of get the specifics of what did you go between the angel round and the VC round, what were the metrics that you went to VCs with?
Yeah. The main metrics was that just to validate the business. At the beginning with the first business angels, it was more like a I don't want to say the PowerPoint, but it was more like just some papers and just to sign some contract with the hotels, just a small number of bookings. And after that, when you start to talk with VCs, definitely you have to show to the VCs that you have the first KPIs. I mean, that our main KPIs, for example, is the CAC, the cost acquisition of the client, the average order value, and the lifetime value. These are the main three KPIs that we have in our P&L. And the main VCs at the beginning, they wanted to know what about these KPIs in Spain, and if we are ready just to scale these KPIs outside of Spain. I mean, opening Germany, for example. That was our second country was Germany. The first VCs, they say, okay, we want to invest 1.5 million euros, but you need to open during the next 12 months Germany, just to have your first experience talking with new hotels, I mean, new hotels from outside of Spain, but also just to try to make some bookings outside of Spain.
Mm-hmm. And what does it take for you to open a new geography, like say Germany? In the case of Germany, was it basically calling these hotels and giving the value proposition? It was a telesales, customer acquisition strategy, well, supply acquisition strategy.
Uh, it's very important just to know that you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And even today, we are opening right now Latin America, but in the next month, we are going to open the States. We know that we need to commit a lot of mistakes, and that's normal, okay? Because each country is completely different in terms of the culture, in terms of the industry, everything. But after that, the hotel industry in the main cities where we are working right now, the main cities, the main capitals, is exactly the same. I mean, the hotels, the terms of the KPIs, how they work, how they sell their rooms and everything, it's more or less the same. Then you have to go physically to the hotels at the beginning just to meet with them. In our case, first of all, is the supply. First of all, it's just to sign some contracts in order to put in our platform, in our website, the hotel.
It's not a telesales close. You have to act. It's
No.
Supplier acquisition.
At the beginning, it was like that, but to be honest with you, right now we have more than 22 countries, and the last 12 countries, something like that, we did it just from here over the phone, like a call center from here, from Barcelona. But because we learned how to do it, but at the beginning, the first 10 countries, we did it ourselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what is the other side, on the demand side, what is the go-to-market strategy?
It's at the beginning was the early adopters that you have, for example, just doing some PR. PR works very well for us because the magazines, the newspapers, they want to talk about our idea, about the innovation in the hotel industry, and that works very well. After that, we use a lot of social media. We work with other kind of influencers or our own social media. And after that, online, I mean, Google, we are doing all these kind of tools in order to arrive to our user. But also we did like offline or TV campaigns. In Spain, we invested at the beginning a lot of quantity of money in terms of TV campaign, and that's it works very well for us.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of numbers do you have? Like how many hotels are in the network now? You said about 35 countries?
Exactly. No, we have like doing bookings like more than 24 countries, something like that. They are more focusing in Europe or Latin America and the Middle East. We have hotels in Qatar, in the Emirates, and in Bahrain, all this area because they are incredible hubs, airport hubs, and our users normally they need a hotel close to these kind of airports. But also in Latin America right now we are in our second office in Mexico and Colombia. Colombia works very, very well, but also Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, Peru, Panama. We are really happy with the main performance in Latin America, even though we just started like some months ago. But in terms of KPIs, they are really promising.
How many hotels total right now?
Total, we have like 3,100 hotels, working with the main hotel groups, but also with a lot of independent hotels. We work with Holiday Inn, with Accor, with Sheraton, with NH, with the main hotel groups, but also with a lot of independent hotels or small hotel chains.
And when we talked last, you shared the revenue KPI, which was over 5 million euro for 2018. What are you thinking 2019 will come in at?
Yes, 2019 we are going to, in fact, our business plan is started because the first 6 months of 2019 we were in fundraising, and we were more like trying to improve a lot our technology, trying to improve a lot our supply and everything. But I think we are going to double, okay, during the next months. And right now we are going to be more, during 2022, I think it's like 27 million, something like that. The most important will be the open in the States. We know that it will be an before and after of the States. And we are going to see what happens with the States during the next 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm. So you've already raised 18 million, right?
Exactly. In fact, we raised close to 8, and right now we are going to close a new one of another 10, something like that, 9.
Okay. So the only thing I would say that from my audience here listening, just be a little bit careful about raising too much money. Because, typically a traditional VC, there is a class of VCs that are playing in a, small capital efficient startups and early exit seeking business. But when you get into the domain of $18, $20 million worth of funding, you're playing in the domain of traditional VCs. And that category of investors are looking to go from $0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. So just be aware of these, the requirements of these VCs, and that you're going to have to deliver that level of what I call hyper growth. And hyper growth is not a natural state of business. Even by doubling, you can't quite get to those kinds of numbers. You kind of need an exponential curve somewhere to get to those numbers. So that's just, just something to those who are listening. Just keep this in mind as you're thinking through your fundraising strategy. And as a follow-up to that, Guillermo, my question to you is, have you thought about these implications of raising too much money?
Yes, definitely. I think there is a lot, it depends on the industry. We are talking about the travel industry, and it's a really mature market with incredible players. And if you want to do something in this incredible market, I think you need to raise a lot of money. This is my personal point of view. Definitely if you are in another industry or in another kind of e-commerce or whatever, okay? But in the travel industry, it's really complicated. After that, I totally agree with you. It's something that you have to care about just to funding, and because you have to support with KPIs. But as I told you, we raised during the last 6 years 8 million euros, and right now we are going to raise another 8. I mean, we need to spend this 8 million euros in the future. I mean, we are not overfunding. I think we are going to close right now.
You're not overfunding. Right now, you're fine.
Exactly, because we raised until right now 8 million euros. I mean, during 6 years, it's not too much, I think.
No, it's not too much. But remember that with $18 million worth of financing, you better start delivering those kinds of you're already in the market for a while. So now you need to hit the 100 million revenue mark relatively quickly, because now you've got quite a bit of funding under your belt. So without raising humongous amount of money more, you're going to need to start getting into those exponential curves.
Definitely. No, I agree with you. I think it's important just to balance between the funding and your KPIs, your performance, and everything, your revenues. I agree with you.
Because, at some point, you're going to have to start having the exit conversations and return on investments and all that. And you're going to, the minute you come into the US and start interacting with US VCs, they're going to look at those numbers, right? They're going to look at, otherwise they're going to load your term sheet up with liquidation preferences.
Mm.
And
even though we are, if you, I think also it's different if you talk about a B2C business model or B2B, they are also different. Okay, we are in the middle because we are part of B2C just to show to the market that it makes sense, this kind of product. But today, what we want to do exactly is just to manage or to lead the distribution of these micro stays, even in our own channel, but also in other channels like other OTAs, in airlines or in corporates. I mean, we want to expand our business, and then it's different because in terms of valuation, in terms of scalability, there is completely different.
You actually have a very good opportunity to leverage more with B2B because the corporates all have travel arrangements, right? They have lots of traveling people in their ecosystems, and if you do a lot of corporate deals, you could grow much more efficiently, capital efficiently.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very interesting. And talk a little bit about what's happening in Barcelona. It's a very active, very vibrant ecosystem, and you've obviously been successful through that network. Talk a bit about what's happening, how is the ecosystem developing?
Right now, Barcelona is the main city in Spain in terms of the startup ecosystem. In Europe, I think after London or Paris or Berlin, they are in the main top 5. Here right now, we are partners of the Barcelona Tech City. It's the main association in Spain in terms of a lot of startups. We are all of us together in one association, and I think it's a really nice place just to start a company. First of all, because a lot of young people from Europe or from the States or whatever, they want to come to Spain and to Barcelona because the quality of life here in Spain is amazing, and in Barcelona in terms of the weather and everything, and you can hire a good talent with a different expense cost, because in London, for example, are really more expensive.
Yeah.
And in our case, in terms of the tourism, Spain is the second country in the world with more tourism. I mean, in terms of the hospitality, the travel and everything, it's perfect because you are doing the MVP in one of the main countries of the world with more experience in the hotel, but also in the travel. I mean, for us, it's perfect because we can validate the business in our own city.
Very good. Very good. Guillermo, wonderful story. Look forward to following your journey and see you again soon. Bye-bye.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.